The Real Estate and Mortgage Show, your go-to spot for everything home buying, selling, and financing on News Talk 580 CFRA.
Lower rates and some good incentives.
Well, so many great things can come out of those changes too. So, I mean, just imagine if it starts with the first-time home buyers rebate, and then they extended that out to move-up buyers. Let's say anybody, you can get a rebate on the taxes when you buy a new build. Well, if they're trying to boost the new build and the new construction, having everybody eligible for a rebate on the taxes, that helps them move up to the new builds.
Right.
Well, then there's more homes that become available for first-time home buyers that are possibly more within their price range, but then still give them that incentive of, waiving off the entire land transfer tax, because of course there's no HST on a resale home.
Right. Hey, have a question? Head over to realestateandmortgageshow.com or give us a call at 613-521-8255. That's 521-TALK. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Hey, we had a question sent in at realestateandmortgageshow.com. Paul, this one's for you from Sachin. He asked, what are a few of those areas in Ottawa that are still in a seller's market and which ones are sort of in a buyer's market? And as an investor, if you're looking at up and coming areas, what kind of criteria would you look at to consider it an up and coming neighborhood?
Good question. Great question, actually. So without getting into too many of the specific areas, that's something I can definitely talk to them off the air about. I mean, if I don't want to tell someone they're in a buyer's market and hurt the sale of their home.
Right.
But at the sound of that, though, if you're in an area that has a lot of new builds going on and it's a very first-time home buyer or like an up-and-coming area, you're looking at the Stittsvilles, the Orleans, the Canadas, the Riverside South, the Findlay Creek. Those areas are amazing for families, and that's where that's where a lot of the sales happen in the city. Barhaven and Orleans are two of the biggest sales areas in the city, the hotspots for sure. Great for families, more affordable, things like that. The only problem with those areas, yes, you're going to have way more buyers moving into those areas, looking in those areas, but you also have new builders. So when you have 2, 3, 4, 5 new builders in those areas, there's tons of competition. So great for buyers because you have lots of competition in the area and lots of inventory. It's a little tougher for sellers. So those are the great areas. When you're looking at older areas, maybe the downtown core, a little more expensive. If you go a little bit out, maybe you're looking at Hintonburg, a little less expensive. If you're going more into the Gloucester area. But some of the areas, when they talk about some of the up-and-coming hotter areas, are on the outskirts of the city. You've seen years ago during COVID, Arnprior was the number one area in Canada, the fastest booming area in Canada. You have Carp, you have Almont, you have, Constance Bay, and then you go to the east, you have Limoges and Embrun and Russell and all these different spots like that. Those areas have lots of builders in them, but they need to be built up. So for an investor, there is more people. If you look at somewhere like Kijiji and you look at that people who are renting their house out or people who are looking to rent a house out, it's almost triple people who are looking to rent a house out. So if you're trying to rent out a house in those areas that you get your rent and you get it quick. So
and in terms of rental levels on the outskirts, are they much lower than what they are in town, or is it comparable?
It's like, so if we're talking about, let's say an area like, Rockland compared to the downtown core, yes, it's a much different animal. But if you're thinking like comparing, let's say, Rockland to Orleans, it's quite comparable. It's not that much cheaper to rent out in those areas. So it's not as if you're getting, $3,000 a month for your townhouse in Orleans, but you're only getting, $15 in Rockland. You're probably getting $24, $25, $26 in Rockland. So very comparable, but you're paying less money out there than you would if you're in Orleans, and vice versa on the West End. So there's a lot of people right now that, and keep in mind, if you're an investor, you got to change your mentality. You're not thinking, oh, I want to make sure I get the best floors, and I have to have the best kitchen. I want to make sure I get the granites. All you're looking at is numbers. Where am I going to make the most money, have the biggest return, the best place to invest my money? And that's where you really have to look. We have a client one time, she's like, no, I have to, go in this area because this has got the best builders, got this. Why don't you look where there's the most money to be made? So outskirts, definitely, there's tons of money to be made. There's lots of building going on out there. And of course, always the downtown core is always a great place to invest as well. But just know you have to have some deep pockets to invest in the downtown core.
Right. And because to mortgage that, you're looking at, you need 20% down as a secondary investment property in the first place, right?
You need 20% down. Yeah. And you have to look at, as Paul said, you have to look at what's going to cover. When you're looking at qualifying, and the rules changed again for qualifying, for investment properties, we can no longer just continually use your income, which I think Frank talked about on last week's show.
We talked about it last week.
So they're really, really trying to stop people from qualifying as easily for investment properties. So it's become a lot more tricky.
How stupid is that?
It's ridiculous.
They're trying to make it harder to get an investment property.
So people have somewhere to live who can't afford to buy a home to live in, and then they need to rent. Yeah, it's insane.
And what do some investors do when they bring in this anti-flipping tax? What do people do when they're flipping properties? They beautify the area. They increase taxes to the government.
Absolutely.
They improve the price of the area. I never understood that. I'm like, why are you doing that? I mean, first, you're not letting people get ahead. And two, I mean, some of the things they're bringing in like that, we want to make it harder to buy investment properties. One, what they're saying is we want to make it harder for us to make it affordable for someone to live somewhere and also for someone to make money.
Right.
I don't understand it.
Well, and as we've talked about, Canadians have always seen real estate as a very safe investment vehicle. So now you're making it harder to get into those safe investment vehicles?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they want people to be able to buy a home. That's why they're putting all the incentives and trying to help people purchase more homes. But, the reality is not everybody can afford to buy a home. And not everybody should be a homeowner. Right? It's just not really in the cards for everybody. Yeah. Not everybody should be a homeowner. So there are people that it makes more sense for them to rent. Right. You need to have people who can afford to qualify to carry those homes that will have them to be able to rent out to people who just maybe necessarily shouldn't own a home.
You know what I was just thinking, Greg? I had a little chuckle when I was thinking this because Greg obviously is my photographer, and when he sends out photos, especially of homes that have renters in there, oh my God, it's like, so then as I was thinking about that, some of these pictures, they look like hoarders' homes, and they're just absolutely terrible looking. Steph.
Yes.
Do you guys
help us? Do you guys
clean? Do you guys clean? Like, you must see some of the most disgusting stuff. But do you clean?
I got pictures.
Hoarders' houses.
So that's a great question. We are not equipped to clean hoarder. However, we do have a sister company, Service Master Restore. Ironically, hold on. Go ahead.
Hold on. That sister company is owned by your husband, right?
Going into part ownership, yes. You can call Service Master Restore, and you can speak directly to Jason Applejohn. He's going to love me after this show. You can ask for him directly, and he'd be happy to help you with that.
So he will come in, take care of all the garbage and all that kind of stuff.
His team comes in. They have they have suits. They have everything. They come in. They do a really good job. We've bumped into a lot of that. We've walked into stuff like that sometimes people forget to tell us. And we'll call a Service Master Restore, and they'll take care of them. Full on.
Well, there you go, Jason Applejohn. Sorry, your last name is Applejohn too.
It is.
Oh, what a coincidence!
Shameless plug.
Bang for your buck on that.
But then, so he comes in and takes care of all that stuff, and then you then go back in and then clean the property.
That's right.
And those cleans must be so lovely to do.
They're beautiful after. Yes. I'm totally happy to do it. So it's a win-win for us, right?
There's been a couple homes where we've actually had to call Steph's team to come in, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed to even ask you to go into this house.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, it's all good.
Stephanie, what are some of the common questions like you get asked when people are inquiring about cleaning service, like whether they're investors or homeowners, whatever? What are those common questions?
I think the number one question is why. Private over a company, right? And that's the number one question. I've had my cleaning lady for over 35 years. Why should I go with you? And that's great. We're really happy. If you're happy with that person, absolutely continue. However, we do have the private cleaning ladies that do go on vacation for a few months and they go back home to, Portugal or Italy or wherever. And then they're stuck for a few months, right? So that's the difference right there. Not to mention the bonded, insured, and police checked. The other nice thing too is sometimes a lot of people don't like confrontation, right? Like you're going up to that person saying, you didn't do a good job last week, or and they don't want to do that. So they can always call our office with us, if there's a problem or anything like that, and we'll coach our staff to make sure it doesn't happen again.
I'm certain.
A question.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I have a question. I have a question about cleaning before the cleaning lady comes.
You're one of those.
Good question.
Yeah. So is it true? Is it true? Inquiring minds want to know.
Yes.
Is it true that when you go in to clean a property, that you're really not looking like you're in there to do a job and you're seeing things from a different angle, let's say, than the homeowner? Like, is there judging? Are you really judging?
No, but what's funny? I think like the staff that go in, we have such amazing staff. They go in and they clean, and that's the main thing. They go in there and they clean, and do we see things? Absolutely, you know what I mean? But there's no judgment because we know, some people are
Life happens.
Like some people are going through, cancer and stuff like that. Like they're sick, and they can't do that. And then you have other people that are just never home, and you're like, why am I here? But, we're going to go clean it anyways, so.
Or you have someone with kids that their priority is taking care of the kids.
You're living in your house.
Maybe forgetting
sure.
cleaning this and that.
Yeah.
My mom, sorry, Colleen Rushforth.
I love your mom. You better be careful what you say about your mother.
I know. But my mom, when I was growing up, used to, and she still does to this day, she will literally clean her house before her cleaning lady comes.
Yes.
And her house, you could lick the floors. It's so clean. And she'd be like, oh, I got the cleaning lady coming tomorrow. I'm like, whoa, to clean what? Like, what are they actually cleaning? I bet you they just sit back and watch some soap operas with my dad. I guarantee
But it's the things like the baseboards and the blinds probably, right?
Yeah.
And the fans
Yeah,
and things like that you're really not doing every single day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know what? A lot of people do ask us that, Lisa, you're right. Like, do I need to, declutter and clean before they come? And you know what? Less is easier for us to get to. So absolutely, we do appreciate it, but we do understand that people are very busy.
So tidy, but you don't have to
tidy.
clean.
Yeah. Tidy but not clean. Tidy but not clean.
Well, understand people still live in their houses, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So now you mentioned something that I actually wanted to ask about was the bonding and insurance.
Police check,
police check. Honestly, I wouldn't have even thought of that.
Yep.
Looking to hire. So all your staff are obviously police checked,
including myself.
Okay.
I know, Paul, including myself.
Oh, I know Steph really well. I'd like to know where you got that police check.
Sounds like there's some
later.
stories there.
Well, she is my girlfriend's longest friend. They've known each other since they were little babies. So
we were in the womb. That's how long we've known each other.
Oh, I see. So you and Petra have been up to some shenanigans at
No, nothing like that. We're very, very, very,
But
very
the beauty is at this golf tournament where we were auctioning off this prize, I was laser focused on Steph. I was like, your Petra's longest friend. You better get that arm up.
So Stephanie, what does the liability and the bonding insurance protect against?
Just, if something breaks in the house, and accidents do happen, right? We're only human. We've all, broken a plate or whatever, if we've done that, we'll cover it, stuff like that. Police check is really important. Obviously, you want to make sure that person doesn't have anything, happening.
Happened.
Right? Yeah. And so, and just to let everyone know too, just because you do a police check and they've been with us for, my longest cleaner's actually been with me longer than I've been there. He's been there for 27 years. We do a police check every year on them,
Oh, and it's renewed. Okay.
Yeah, we renew it. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Absolutely.
Oh, so that's some great information in terms of looking to hire a cleaning company.
Thank you.
Fantastic. If you have a question, head over to realestateandmortgageshow.com or give us a call at 521-TALK, 521-8255. We will be right back. Welcome back to the Paul, Lisa, and Stephanie show.
Bye-bye, Frank.
Bye-bye, Frankie.
Hey, Lisa, we had a question come in off the website from Lilia. She says, love the show, you guys. We are first-time home buyers with a new build closing in February 2026. We worked with a broker and he told us the best rate right now for a 5-year fixed, 30-year, 20% down is 4.44. Says, I know you guys recommend using a broker, but after negotiating with our bank, they offered us the same product with a 4.09. Should we see if our broker can match that rate, or what do you recommend we do? I want to use a broker, but it's a lot of savings monthly for us to take the lower rate.
Call Lisa. There's the answer. Call Lisa.
That's a really great question, and it begs a lot more questions. So the short answer is, was that the best available rate for a 20% down with, what are we talking about now, February closing? Quite possibly, 4.44%, 30-year amortization. That was the other one.
30-year.
But depending on when you saw your broker, first of all, that could have changed because the rates have come down. So that's one thing. So you could have gone to your bank and said, this is what I have available. And now the rates actually have come down. So that's a possibility. My second question is, how have we compared that it is the exact same product? So saying a rate for rate is not saying that it's the exact same product. So your broker may have put you with a lender that has more flexibility. They may have put you with a lender that at that time could qualify you for that particular term and mortgage at the best savings or the best product to fit your needs.
Right.
Absolutely go back and talk to your broker, because with access to so many different lenders, we're talking, 30, 35, 40 different lender options. There could be a better product now, and the rates have changed. So you're looking at a 120-day rate guarantee typically for a mortgage.
So coming into that February market, that February closing,
absolutely.
we're in that
February.
window now.
We are
Lisa,
definitely in that.
You said it though, like the rates just came down.
They did.
Maybe that rate was 2 weeks ago.
It could have been, and it could have been the difference of a day. It could have been the difference of 2 days. And again, making sure to compare that those actual terms give it the exact same product. That is what that's what mortgage brokers and mortgage agents are for. We're here to help educate, and we're here to make sure that you're getting the right exact product. So yes, you can probably get a better interest rate. Go back to talk to your broker, and maybe that just means them putting you with a different lender or a different product entirely.
But keep in mind, a banker sells one product.
One product.
The bank's product.
The bank's product, whereas a broker has 30-odd different products that they can position you with. So it might not all be about rate. It could be about flexibility, like you mentioned, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, and the odds are that the person that you're talking to across the desk at your bank is not as well educated as your mortgage broker or your mortgage agent. So that's important. And I don't mean as well educated as far as a higher education, university level, that type of thing. I mean educated in the products that are being offered.
They're educated in their
being
product.
Offered.
Right,
exactly.
right.
So, I mean, we get a lot of, this is what I heard and this is what my banker told me about. This is what brokers do and every other lender is this. Usually 9 times out of 10, it's not true. So go back and talk to your broker.
So in comparing, like you said, it's not necessarily just comparing the rate. What questions should she be asking going back to the broker in terms of, like, are these comparable products, basically? Yeah.
So, I mean, the number one thing is please be upfront and honest with your broker or your agent if you are looking at talking to your bank and then bringing it back to them and saying, this is what my bank has actually offered me. Your agent will appreciate it. Your mortgage broker will appreciate that honesty. You want to be asking them, am I getting prepayment privileges with this? Can I pay down only 10% annually, or can I pay up to 20%? Because that may be something that makes a big difference to you. And they can help you see how to pay off your mortgage a lot faster. And that is a difference. Some banks, lenders only offer 10% annual with no penalty to make extra payments, and others are up to 20%. Can I match a payment? Is there the option to potentially skip a payment if I need to? Can I pay biweekly accelerated, or can I pay only biweekly regular? Those are two different things, and it's going to vary from lender to lender.
If there's a chance you might be transferred for work, what's it going to cost you to get out of the mortgage?
Absolutely.
In 3
Penalty
years?
is always a big thing to be discussing, again, whether it's fixed, variable, adjustable, and from lender to lender. A lot of the monoline lenders are going to have a much better penalty calculation than you're going to get with your big banks.
Right.
Because the lenders, all of them are in the business of making money. We want them to make money, but you don't want to be making it solely on the back of your mortgage.
Right, right.
So, Greg, listen, I was just thinking about something just earlier with Stephanie's shameless plug of her husband and Service Master and stuff. Like just absolutely,
so much trouble.
Just absolutely shameless to plug her husband like that. So, I think it's only right that I put her on the spot a little bit. And,
no!
I did this. I did this with Charles.
You did this to Charles
when he came in. I made him drop about 10 grand off his townhomes when he was selling his townhomes. So, Steph, since we only got a couple minutes left in this show.
Okay.
You got to have some sort of promo that we can offer our listeners and give some parameters. Like maybe they only have a certain time. You got to give me something for our listeners.
Okay, perfect.
Give us a deal, Stephanie.
I thought he was going to make me dance or something. So this is easy. Okay, I can do that.
I've seen you dance.
You have. We won't talk about it. Sure. Let's do 10% off any clean. So if you are to book with us from today till next Saturday, I think it's November 8th, you book, you get 10% off your weekly, bi-weekly, every 4 weeks, one-time clean. So let's give away 10%, and I will message my office right away and let them know this is happening.
What do they have to say? Do they have to say something like Paul's a god? Do they have to say, what do they have to say?
Oh, Lord,
so they have
do not have
to
say
It's
that.
perfect. You guys ready?
Do not have
I
them
want
say that.
Paul Rushforth to come clean my house.
Oh, that would be good.
That's 25%. So what do they have to say? Radio show?
I heard Stephanie Applejohn on the radio. I get 10%, and I'm
Awesome.
good.
So
And-
Brandy, you called in earlier.
Yes,
Brandy, you got
Brandy.
1 week to
There you
call
go.
in and
Book-
get 10%
book
off.
now,
Book
Brandy.
now, yeah, and you can get it cleaned anytime.
So
And-
I
and
heard
what's the
Stephanie on the radio
Yes.
for an extra 10% between now and Saturday.
Yes.
And what is the website and what is the email again?
Oh, right. The website is www.marymaidsottawa.ca, and the email address is info@marymaidsottawa.ca.
Awesome. All right.
Great.
Lisa, birthdays this week?
Oh gosh, I got nothing.
Oh!
What, Frank didn't send you with the
I
wrist?
know. No,
He's
I
Italian. He has
know.
someone's birthday.
I know, but Frank will be back next week, and he'll catch up.
He'll go through Facebook like he
What?
does every day.
The whole last segment will be birthdays for Frank next week. Yeah.
Steph, do you have anything?
I just have a happy retirement to my mom. My mom retired after
that's
29
amazing.
years for she was working for a non-profit. So, Mom, get ready. We have a laundry list of things for you to do. So, thank you. Happy retirement, Mom.
Oh, I thought of one. That's not true.
Oh,
Yes.
Lisa.
One of my very good friends is
Oh.
turning 65.
You can't
Aw.
forget
I
your
know.
very good friend.
I know.
You
Oh
gonna
my
say her
gosh!
name
Happy
out loud
birthday,
on the radio?
Diana.
Ah.
Aw.
I just have one. Elisa knows these guys very well, but about 3 years ago, around this time, I merged with Tracy Arnett. She ended up Tracy Arnett Realty ended up coming and joined my company. And at this time now that her agents are coming into their anniversary. So we've had Glenn, we've had Ashley, and Jonathan Hall on Monday is 3 years with the company. So happy
Wow,
anniversary,
3 years
Jonathan.
already.
Wow.
3 years.
That's
Crazy,
Wild.
eh?
And they've been an amazing addition to the team.
Amazing.
For
They're
sure,
awesome.
For sure.
Now we have Jake and Tracy, who took a little while longer to come over. They're coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Don't worry, you'll get mentioned.
Yeah.
Have a great week, everybody.
Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks. Thank you.